Anybody, please do raise your hand. Mic holders will come to you and direct it to one player or coach at a time. And then today at 5, we will have our Rico's River Rally, our pep rally in the Riverwalk, our signature event where the players will come on river cruises, and captains and head coach at the theater. With that, I would like to introduce the 2 co-defensive coordinators for the Washington defense, William Inge and Chuck Morrell. And it's a tradition that if you played in the Alamo Bowl, you get to introduce the players you brought with it. Coach Inge?
Well, I guess that's a good task. Well, first and foremost, it's an honor to be able to be here, and thank you all for being here right now. First, starting to your right, we'd like to start with Cam Bright, the linebacker, representing the defense, as well as Jeremiah Martin, one of our outside linebackers, which we call our edge position. And then when you have Alex Cook, one of the safeties, who is just a father 2 weeks ago, so he's bringing it home right now.
Thank you, Coach. And to clarify, Coach played in the 93 and 96 Alamo Bowls as a linebacker for Iowa. All right, any questions, please raise your hand. We'll look at mic holders. First question in the middle.
First of all, Alex, are you getting any sleep? And secondly, when you see Xavier Worthy on tape, what goes through your head?
Yeah, I just got the best sleep of my life the past 2 days since I've been to Texas. So I hope that answers your question. And yeah, Xavier Worthy is a super fast dude, someone who could take the top off the defense. Definitely a guy we've been keying a lot, game planning around. So yeah, we've been focusing a lot on what he does, where he's at in the position, or where he's at on the field. If he's outside, if he's in the slot, if he's in the backfield, he's all over the place. But yeah, definitely a guy who can take the top off the defense. We're gonna prevent him from taking deep shots and trying to take the top off the defense.
Front row, 3 in a row, starting with gray shirt.
Hey, Coach Morrell, and for you, with Texas running backs, Bijan, and they were not playing in the game, how much has that altered your guys' preparation for them, for Texas specifically?
Oh, they're not playing? Oh, really? They're not playing? Oh, wow, that's great, guys. No, you can go ahead. You can start, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they, Texas does a great job with recruiting. They've got young talent on their squad, and we've had a chance to evaluate their younger running backs, and I think we don't see their identity trying to change. I mean, you get to the point where you're at, game 10, 11, 12, 13 on the season, and I don't think you're just going to magically change who you are. And so, I think our plan is pretty straightforward. I mean, we've got to be able to do a great job in the box and stop the run and force them into the drop back game.
Thank you, Coach Morrell. Middle, black jacket.
Jeremiah, I was wondering, is this your first time back in Texas since you left A&M?
I was here actually like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. My fiance, I moved my fiance and my kids back down here, so they're in Grand Prairie, Texas. So.
Kind of deja vu, though, coming back to where you've spent a lot of time?
Nah, yeah, for sure. I started my college career here, and I'm going to end it here, so it's pretty exciting. So.
We'll go middle, hat. Behind you.
Jeremiah, for you, having played, in the SEC, having played at Washington, been there a couple of years, just curious what you think this means for this program to have this kind of a game against a big name brand opponent in Texas. What do you think a win would do for national perception of this program and everything that it can be?
Nah, yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing for us, even like out of conference games for anybody, I think it's the biggest thing that coming in as the underdog, as people say. I think like taking this game and winning it, I mean, it means a lot to the program. It's going to mean a lot for the future people too, because at the end of the day, like it's the bowl game, and a lot of people just whoever's the most conditioned and whoever comes out and plays the hardest, that's who's going to win the game, in my opinion. So I think that's going to be like the future brand of like the future. So.
Blue shirt.
Hey, this one's for Coach Inge. How have the players been practicing, and you can get more into how have you been balancing kind of the business at hand mentality and then the bowl festivities and kind of making sure the players are in the right mindset.
Mm-hmm. Well, the practices have been very high-spirited, and they've been pretty good. And I think that's really a testament to these three defensive leaders that we have here, where as a player-led team, they set the identity for the team. They set the identity for the practices. So most of the time, as your leaders go, the rest will follow. So they've been able to set the identity and do the things that we need to be able to get done when it comes to practice, when it comes to offense, defense, and special teams. When it comes to maintaining the healthy balance, you still have to know that it is a business trip, but also you have to be able to have fun. And most of the time, that takes a little bit of maturity. So you have to really understand that you have to know how to flip the switch on and off when it comes to play time and the time for you to be serious when it comes to you being purposeful in your preparation. So we feel as though the team has been really good thus far, and the area and everyone around us has been very hospitable. So it's been a very good experience for us overall.
Center hat.
For AC, I'm curious. You guys are, the higher ranked team. You've won more games. You have more players playing in this game, and I mean, like Jeremiah mentioned, you're the underdog in Vegas. What is your thought on that, given the circumstances that you guys are not favored to win this game?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those Pac-12 deals where everybody looks down on the Pac-12. I think it's one of those kind of situations, and I mean, we're okay with that. We've been underdogs this entire season. We've been, not predicted to win in Vegas against multiple teams, more than 3 teams this year. And we're fine with that. I mean, there's no big deal. We're used to it. We've been through this. I've been through this 6 years being an underdog. I'm not fazed by this by any means. So, I'm actually excited to be the underdog. Man, that's what it's all about. Underdogs come out on top.
Second row, teal.
Alex, you played wide receiver against Coach K's defense. I think you were over on defense when he was there for a year, weren't you?
Correct, yeah.
Have you had a chance to take a look at that defense at all and have any input on if it's anything different, or is it pretty much the same?
Yeah, I mean, I played against the defense, and I played with Coach K as a safety, so I was kind of in between those two different time zones. But I remember all the calls. I remember every single call like the back of my hand. I don't forget that stuff, so I think I'll be a big advantage for me. If he doesn't switch up the signals, then hey, I might be making a lot more plays than anticipated.
Questions? Front row hat, then front row black.
Just for Chuck, I'm curious. You hear so much about what this extra month means from a coaching standpoint, development standpoint. When it is your first year here in this defense, just how productive has that been, just having the extra time to continue to build your culture, continue to install, continue just to build familiarity with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I think it's been outstanding. I mean, the bonus practice structure has really helped us with a lot of the younger players in the program, and again, I think it's really a testament to these guys that are sitting down the line here that do a great job of leading us every day and holding the standard up there, and being involved in helping the young guys develop. And I think that's part of their legacy. The word legacy came up, and these guys have left this just unbelievable legacy this season and flipping things around, but they're also leaving a legacy for the younger players, how to operate going into a bowl game and how to be a pro. And so that bonus time's been fantastic for us. Made a lot of progress.
Middle, black jacket.
This is for Alex. This crew, I think I counted it up, maybe 60% of the guys on the roster had never been to a bowl game. And it's been 3 years since Washington has been to one. Has this almost been like Christmas for them, that something new, something unusual?
Yeah, it's definitely something we emphasize. And obviously, most of the team hasn't been to a bowl game, and this is their first time really, well, for a lot of guys, getting outside the state since the beginning of the season. So it's kind of a time for the leaders to step up and set the standard and make sure these guys are doing the right things on and off the field. But also making sure we obviously spend time with those guys off the field and making sure we spend our last times together and making the most of that. So I think it's trying to just find a fine balance between fun and focus. Just like Coach Inge said, time to flip the switch, but yeah, I mean, the young guys, I mean, they're having a good time. They're practicing hard, and there's nothing much we can ask for them.
Middle.
For Coach Inge, I'm curious just how you would describe the health of this linebacker core where, you know, you've got a guy like Cam who's leaving after this game and some other contributors, and you're bringing in a bunch of guys, including a transfer next season. Just when you look at the numbers there, the experience, young, old, do you like where you're at right now? How do you kind of assess the state of that room?
Yeah, in a sense, we really love where we're at and love where we're going, and that's what development and progression is all about, and that's the message that we tell our prospects and recruits when you come in. The expectation is you're going to be competing for a championship, and that is exactly what we're thinking, and that's the mindset that you have to have 24/7, and that's how, as coaches, that's how we're built. And from a recruiting standpoint, that's truly what we're all about. We're going to get to the hearts of the players and let them know how much we're going to love for them and care for them. And for me, I want to be their leader. And the one thing that we all know as coaches is these young men make us look better than we really are.
Thank you, Coach. Back left.
Coach Inge, it was introduced that you were in the inaugural Alamo Bowl here, so I'm curious what you remember from '93 and '96, and how does it feel to be back?
Okay, I remember 1993. It was the Builder Square Alamo Bowl. It was awesome. Our head coach Hayden Fry at the time told us we were going to be playing against a very good Cal team, where initially they were a top 5 team in the nation, and they had a couple guys get hurt in the middle of the season. So when we came into this game, it was one of those scenarios like, hey, we're from the Big Ten, we're going to be all right, and we got humbled. And it was something as a young player, as a true freshman, it was something that was great to be able to experience as a freshman, because I knew if we ever got in a scenario like that again, that was not going to happen. And that's exactly what occurred as we got on through the years in our collegiate experience. When we came down here in 1996, our head coach was playing one of his very dear friends in Spike Dykes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been Coach Dykes' last game, if I'm not mistaken. But we had to deal with a travesty today on the 27th of December, where Mark Mitchell, one of our players' families, were on the way to the game, and there was an automobile accident, and he lost his parents. And that will really make you appreciate what you have as friends. So when we came out, there was nothing that was going to stand in our way as a team on a mission. And the one thing that we just really remember, just all the fun that we had around walking on the Riverwalk and being able to play in the game and compete. And we knew that as you go through all the years, this has always been a very, very, very competitive game that everyone was going to be able to look at and see outside of your Rose Bowl or your college football playoff games.
Any other questions at the table? All right, we'll do some breakouts, one-on-ones. If Coach Morrell could stay up there, and then